All right, it's the TSOU Podcast. It's your boy Trey. It is the state of us, and I am in the studio, Article Media Studios today with Telamon Corporation. Debra Young and LaToya Evans. How y'all doing?
Doing great. How are you doing today?
You guys work at a corporation that, when was it established?
It was established over 55 years ago.
Telamon. Does that have a meaning?
Yes. Telamon is the symbol for it is a person holding up a pillar. Mm-hmm. So we like to feel that we are pillars of the community. And our mission is to disrupt the cycle of poverty by empowering families to overcome barriers to success.
Wow. All right. So how long has it been established here in South Carolina?
It's been over 30 years.
30 years?
Yes.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
Yes.
So 50 years, but 30 years in South Carolina.
Yes. We're in 11 states.
11 states.
And South Carolina is one of those states.
All right. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to share that we are headquartered in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So tell us a little bit about the corporation and why it exists.
Well, we are funded by the Department of Labor to provide employment and training services as well as support services to farm workers and agricultural workers. We do that by assisting them with finding trainings to help that they're interested in to help get them started on their career paths if they choose a different career other than agriculture work. If they like agriculture work, then we support them in gaining skills so that they can get other positions or move up in farm work. So that's why we are existing. And we envision a time when a future where families thrive and create a legacy of success and well-being, because a lot of our farm workers and agriculture workers have to live on very limited incomes, and they struggle to support their families. And a lot of times the children follow in the footsteps of the parents, so that cycle of poverty is continuous. So we're trying to break that cycle.
And this is a program that strictly focuses on farm workers, correct?
Farm workers and other agricultural workers.
Okay.
It can be meat processing plants, it can be pine straw, it can be deer farming, fish farming, anyone that's working in the agriculture field and that's dealing with the product in its raw state.
Wow. And I like to watch a lot of survival TV and read a lot of survivalist magazines and literature. I'm thinking like this is one of those things that you probably really want to have and know to sustain your family in the future. The way food prices are going up.
Absolutely.
Things like that. How do you target individuals? Is it just, the youth or older people? What's the range?
Well, we start working with youth starting from the age of, we can start at 14. We would prefer high school students, their junior year in high school, and we go all the way up as old as someone is willing to work and or go to school, we can work with them.
How often, what is the success stories? What does that look like?
Well, I can share a success story with you. We started, we talk about Lewis. Lewis started in our program as a high school student, a junior in high school. He was raised by his single parent, his mom, and after graduating from high school, we assisted him with going to college. And we assisted with whatever his FAFSA and other loans did not cover. We covered the remainder, as well as provided with him with any other support services that he needed in order to reach his goal. And that might have included gas, books, or nutrition, whatever it was that he or his family were in need of, we were able to assist him with that. Well, fast forward 4 years later, in December, he graduated from college in computational science, which was his chosen career. First generation college student. And upon graduation, he was offered a job at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And he is currently working there. He started there as in his training period, making $22 an hour. And then he moved into his second training phase, making $33 an hour. And when he concludes that one, his salary will increase again. And he is now a role model for his younger siblings that they can choose the path that they would like to go into also.
Yeah. So the Blue Cross Blue Shield doesn't necessarily connect with the farm worker idea, though. So how does that work?
Well, a lot of the older persons who are in farm work, they might be interested in continuing in farm work. But we can serve the farm worker as well as their dependents. And a lot of them are interested in their children having a different life other than farm work. So we, when they come into our program, we assess them to see what their interests, what their skills, what their abilities are, and just hear from them what they would like to pursue. Help them lay out what their goals in life are. Yeah. If they are not sure where they want to go, then we'll do some assessments with them, and we'll do some career counseling with them, and sometimes even give them a chance to try out different jobs through work experiences, both paid and unpaid, to help them determine what it is that they might want to choose as a career. And I always ask a person, what is it that you're so passionate about that you would do even if you didn't get paid?
Yeah. That's the question, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the question. And then once we hear their response, okay, well, let's take a look at what it would take for you to pursue that as a career.
Well, it sounds more. So you go along. You are with them the entire journey.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Even once they are employed, Louis is now employed at Blue Cross Blue Shield, but we follow him for a period of 1 year afterwards, because we don't want him to just get the job. We want him to be able to keep the job. So we assist with that transition. And we're there. If any bumps in the road come up, he can give us a call, and we can try to help him work through them. We try to provide that ongoing support for at least a year afterwards.
Yeah. So do you run into some skepticism? And is it hard to get to find individuals to come into the program?
Our greatest challenge, I would say, is getting the word out there and letting people know about our services. Mm. That is our biggest challenge. And then them qualifying for our services, because there are certain qualifications that they must adhere to. And for instance, they have to have done their farm work within the last 2 years. There must be a dependent of a farm worker or the farm worker themselves. They must be low income. And if they are males, they must have applied for selective service or have a good reason for not applying. Mm-hmm. And once we find out that they meet that criteria, sometimes is supporting them in having a vision to see that they can dream, and we can help them activate those dreams.
Yeah.
That they can do it.
So what stuck out to me, males, right?
Yes.
Do you get a lot of females in this type of program?
We get both.
Yeah.
We get both males and females.
Do you get enough males, young men?
Yes, we do. Especially our youth, and LaToya can really speak to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've increased enrollment for youth. Partnering with Upstate Circle of Friends for us has been awesome, because they're able to go on the farm, on the property, get paid for what they do, and then that may qualify them for our services.
Yeah, the get paid part sounds really good.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the criteria. They have it has to be paid farm work.
Yeah,
and you have to have made more income in farm work versus non-farm or ag work, or more days, more time.
Okay, so is this a scholarship, grant money, and where does the funds come from?
It's a grant coming from the Department of Labor.
Okay, Department of Labor.
Department of Labor, they have what's called a National Farm Worker Jobs Program.
Okay.
And it's all grant monies. They do not have to pay it back.
So that's beautiful. Is there a situation where you have, like, hey, you start a program but you don't complete it, then I know it's probably a bad question to ask, because you don't want people to like, okay, I'm gonna start. But do you have like any guidelines set that you make sure whoever comes into the program, they do complete the program?
Well, that's why we do assessments to see, but first of all, to determine that this person is serious
Yeah.
and they're interested in the program, because it's a process that you have to go through.
Yeah.
And based on what your response is during that process, we can pretty much judge who's going to really follow through and do the things that they need to do in order to reach their goals. And the ones who just kind of looking to maybe wanting to maybe need some support services or something. And don't really want to get into the education thing. Sometimes we have people who come who just want us to help them get a job, and that's okay too. We can do direct placements, but we also can provide emergency services and support services for persons who may not be interested in the employment and training, but who may be in a situation that they need some help.
What type of emergency? How expand on that?
You want to talk about what you just helped one of our customers with?
So we are able to assist customers with rental assistance, utility assistance, food, transportation,
child care.
Okay, yeah. Now, that's very. I mean, those are what I see here is the supportive services.
Yes.
And I guess once you've looked over the applications and understand who fit. Is it a thing that who fits the program? Is that how it's looked at, or?
Well, everyone could fit, but it's their motivation.
Okay.
Is this something that's for you? It might not be for everyone. That's why we have what we call a career objective assessment.
Okay.
And it's a very thorough assessment. And it takes some time to finish that assessment. So based on the response for that, then we can kind of figure out the ones who are really serious and who want to make that change. And we find that the majority of people that come through our program, they have a hunger to do something different. They just need the support in order to do it. Mm-hmm. And we offer that support.
How do people actually find you?
We have a lot of partners that we work with, like Upstate Circle of Friends. Mm. We also do extensive outreach, like we're doing this podcast today.
Right.
We have a community outreach and recruitment specialist, and that's her specific job to go out, to go to farms, to go wherever agricultural workers and farm workers hang out, to team up with our partners who also go out. We have partnerships with DHEC, with all different types of programs like migrant education programs and migrant Head Start, and that way we get our name out there. We let them know about the services that are available, and we tell them how to access those services.
I mean, 30 years. I mean, I don't think it was around when I was graduating, but I think a lot of kids in our community could really benefit from something like that.
Absolutely.
What I find when I interview people, that it's just the thing that you just don't know it exists.
Exactly.
And then there's a trust issue, right?
Yes.
Is it legit? Because if you run across looking at some of your flyers and the supportive services and things like that, and I'll say the Black community because I know it's just for everyone. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of suspicious. How does this work? What am I being tied to? What is my obligations? And what do you tell someone who says, what are my obligations to this?
We're frank, and we tell them, this is what we expect of you, and this is what you can expect of us. We have an orientation prior to the person making the decision whether they want to go into the employment and training or not. Mm. And then, they know their expectations. They know what they can expect from us, and they can hold us accountable, and we let them know we will hold them accountable. And in terms of trust, a lot of people learn about us through word of mouth.
Okay.
Through persons that have been through our program and have been successful. And we get a lot of referrals that way, especially from persons who are working in meat processing plants.
Yeah.
Once one person gets in there and they get that education and they move out to a different job, then they let their friends know, hey, this program will really help you.
Yeah.
And that helps establish that trust.
Right, exactly. And, of course, my son is going through this program, and I'll just say that, just put it out there. And, of course, I'm one of those parents that has a lot of questions. You're right?
Yes.
I have a whole bunch of questions because in today's society, you have to ask the questions.
Absolutely.
You have to be curious, especially when it comes to your children. But as I read and find out more about the organization, because the only reason why I know about the organization because I'm here at Upstate Circle of Friends, as I read about how it's implemented and what it does, I wish I knew about it a long time ago. Our boys are in the street.
Yes.
And these are the things that they probably really are interested in and just don't know is out there. Mm-hmm. So I would love to get this information to them specifically because we want them to have a focus. Also, I deal with colleges, and one of the biggest things you hear about is that they don't have enough funds.
Right.
You know, I hear sad stories and students crying all the time. They can't, even if they're living in dorms, they don't have enough money to cover the dorms or anything like that. So I do know that part of this program is, I know we talked about filling in the gap.
Yes.
How does that work?
Again, extensive outreach.
Okay.
We outreach to the colleges. We are about to try to get into a partnership with Greenville Tech.
Yeah.
They have some money where they can provide free training for persons who are interested in healthcare and CDL drivers. So we want to talk with them, and we want to see how we can partner up and how we can, if they provide that training, how we can provide those support services that they might need and fill in the gap for any other needs that they might have. Also, we go out to the high schools, and we try to contact the counselors and let the counselors know about us as well. We are partners with South Carolina Works. And so they have a lot of folks coming through there, and they are able to share about our program. And we have a lot of young, actually, black men who have come through the program, have gotten their CDL licenses, and are now making some big bucks driving the long-distance trucks.
Wow.
LaToya has a customer. I don't know if are you able to share about Mr. Christopher?
Oh, yeah. Well, a little bit, I guess. But, well, maybe you can do a little bit better. You probably know him a little bit better.
That's because he was transferred to her
Okay.
case. But when he came to us, he was working at Pilgrim's Pride. And he had about 7 children in his family between he and his wife. And he said he was constantly struggling, trying to take care of his family. So when he came to us, that was what he wanted to do. He wanted to be able to move into a career that he could provide for the needs of his family. So he expressed an interest in CDL driving. And as you know, there is a big need now for CDL drivers. So we assisted him with getting the training that he needed, getting his CDL license, and now he's driving a long-distance truck, making $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
Wow. A week.
That's changing. Yeah.
Yes.
I do want to add, too, that we participate, just piggybacking a little bit off of what Debra said, we do participate in resource fairs as well at different schools around the area, wherever we're invited to get that word out to our people in our community.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I got to ask this question. Why are you here? What brought you to this type of program? And I ask both of you. I'll start with you, Ms. Debra.
Well, to be very honest with you, I used to do farm work.
Okay.
I used to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to help my uncle on his tobacco farm. Not really his. He was a sharecropper.
Oh, wow.
So I used to get up and help him on his farm. And I know the hard work, the long days, the low pay. I think I was making like $5 a week.
A week?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say an hour.
No, an hour. Are you serious? A week. Look, I'm dating myself now, but this was years and years ago. And also, if you think about it, where do our fruits and vegetables come from?
Yeah.
Where do our fresh meats come from? But we never think about the people who are out there making sure that they're on our tables.
Yeah.
And that's why I do what I do, because I want to thank the people who help me to be able to provide healthy meals for my family, and also let them know that what they do is so important and that it's very much appreciated. And that's why also we have an annual Farm Workers Appreciation Festival, just to have them come and we thank them. We have a lot of different vendors there and other partners there, so they can find out about all the services that are out there that to support them. And we also have some keynote speakers, like from the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and we have people from the Mexican consulate to come and talk about how they can support them, and just fun stuff. We have, and also we had when COVID was rampant, we had persons doing COVID tests and passing out home COVID kits, as well as HIV testing right there at the festival, and provided lunch and other little giveaways, and just a fun day, a DJ, just a fun day to say thank you for what you do for us.
When does that happen?
It usually happens in March or April. So we'll be getting started soon, planning our next one. And we like to say, hashtag if you ate today, thank a farm worker.
Absolutely.
That should be a bumper sticker. Yeah. All right. So, LaToya, what about you?
I've always kind of worked with people in the community and worked with kind of like low income people and things like that. I think for this though, what really got me was speaking with a farm worker one day, and she told me that she was making $5 a bucket to pick strawberries. And I was like, I didn't know that still happened. Yeah. And so that kind of switched something in my brain, I think, where it was like, okay, I'm going to help. Whatever I can do in the realm of being a case manager, I'm gonna do what I have to do. So that kind of brought a passion.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it's important, like the people who will listen to this, right, they want to know who's talking and what are your experiences, because that's how I absorb things, because I see the person who's telling me things, where have you been, what are your experiences, and why are you here? That's why I always ask that question. I think that's really important, especially to our youth, because, they have to understand that you understand their path on how you can assist them, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So how can people get in touch with you?
LaToya, you can provide your information for here in the upstate, but we are located in every region in the state. We have offices here in Greenville, and LaToya covers the counties in the upstate. We have offices in the Midlands. We have offices in the PD in Florence and also in Kingstree. And we have it in the Low Country in Charleston and in Johns Island and Beaufort and the surrounding counties. So LaToya can give you her information, and then we can give you our website and our Facebook. Okay.
Ms. Debra Young and Ms. LaToya Evans, Telamon National Farm Worker Corporation, is that how should I say that? Is that
Telamon Corporation's National Farm Worker Jobs Program.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. That's why we're here, to make sure people know.
Because and before I even close, I'm gonna just be honest. Like when I see a name like Telamon, I don't think it's for me.
Right.
I think it's for Hispanics. I'm just going to put it out there like that, just to be honest. And that's what I was like, okay, is this? And I know that I'm thinking wrong, but a lot of people think like I just thought, right?
You're not.
Right.
And this podcast is going to let everybody know this is not an isolated or specific. This is for everyone. And of course, you have some things some applications you got to fill out, some things you got to answer. But this is very important. This is a good resource. It's one of the things we need in our communities, and I'll say ours because I live in our community.
Yes.
Are these type of resources.
Yes.
So I really appreciate you guys coming on the TSOU podcast. You have some?
I'd just like to give our website for persons who might be interested in finding more information out about our program or applying to our program. Okay. We can locate it at www.telamon.org. And we also have a Telamon, South Carolina Facebook page. Okay. So you can visit our Facebook page. Or you can contact LaToya if you're here in the upstate at levans@telamon, TELAMON.org.
Absolutely. All right. It was a pleasure, you guys coming on the TSOU podcast, The State of Us, the progression of the Black community. Thank you for coming out, ladies.
Thank you for having us.